I'm Shawna Lee. This is Infinity Readings, and this, Aquarius, is your spirituality reading for January of 2026. Aquarius, the first card that we have for you from the Gaia deck is the Father card. Yeah. You may be dealing with a father figure in your life here, or someone you look up to highly in this way. Also, the receiving end of someone looking into your behavior in the past here. So this signifies recent past, within a month or two. I feel great judgment upon your character having to do with a father figure. So let's move into the present here and see what's going on. The next card that we have for you is the Eight of Fire. Now, this card always brings me a sense of emanating, lightness of being, just being your great old self and letting that rub off on people in whichever way it will. I always get a good centered feeling, though. It's like we go forward in our truth, and whoever gets affected by that, it's a good wave of energy. This is what I get. So you may have, okay, this is mutating this energy. You may have a father figure you were dealing with in the past, but you may also have someone that is older than you looking upon your energy in such a way, because I'm getting a sense of wonder from this person in the past. So it just may be the father figure. It could be a father figure, or it could be someone who finds you majestic, to give me the word majestic, looking upon you in such a way. Who is this majestic being and what are they doing? And like in wonderment about the way that you go about your life, Aquarius. So you stand out quite highly to someone here. Now, as we go into the future, what's the Gaia card we get there? Is the Hero. And they're stringing along that Father card. So I feel like this Father card is really watching your progression as you move forward in your life, okay? And as they do so, they see you as heroic in your own life, conquering your own things and working on your own goals and seeing that and how you change and adjust through the parameters as you go forward. So I feel somebody is watching your timeline here. So as a father figure, that could be that case in point, right? Because that's someone who's in your midst, who overlooks you as you go forward into your you know what I'm getting here is your higher self energy. When I look at a higher self energy, what people interpret as like your highest possible road you could take, this is what's opening up for you. This is what you're walking into. This is where you're going, where you're headed. I feel like for some people that may be out of their comfort zone to see you in such a way. Meaning, I don't feel this father has that. I think they're just kind of looking at you in wonderment about how you're growing and expanding and becoming the hero of your own life. Okay, so that there's somebody doing that in your field. And beyond that, I also feel that there's people going to see you evolve to a degree that you may evolve past them, that they don't accept that. They won't accept that. They don't allow that. Don't want to allow that. This kind of thing. Kind of want to keep you back from this. Okay, so as we go to the next level here, the Pulp Tarot, on top of the father energy, again, I get a great array of energy here. Anywhere from a father figure to someone who just is overlooking your energy and seeing how you grow and evolve spiritually. Someone with depth of thought is what I'm getting. Now, as we go on top of that, we have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords means a truce or a stalemate. I don't have enough information to make a decision, this kind of energy. So, interestingly enough, I don't know if this is attached to that person per se, but remember how I said we have people here that are watching you evolve into a greater human being, and some are watching in amazement and some are watching in like they don't want to accept you evolving is really what I get here. And this is where this Two of Swords energy comes in. It's like I can't, either they don't believe that you are the person you're becoming, okay? It's very complex a lot of judgment upon. But I feel like the Aquarius themselves, they're just giving into their own self. They're becoming their higher self. And the more you go into that, the less time you have for people that don't agree, kind of thing, is what I'm getting. There's a lot of energy here I can't put into words. So we'll move on to the present. The 8 of fire. Again, that's just you moving in and about your energy. It would be the equivalent of like a Queen of Wands in her strength. Being out there, being abundant. People take notice. We're very capable and very self-assured, and we just go out and do our thing. And some people are looking in amazement. Some people aren't. So on top of that energy, we get the High Priestess. Okay. She has to do with greater knowledge, right? Again, the higher self coming in to give you answers to everything that you need to know, everything that you want to know, anything that you desire. I feel like we're just floating off our, how would you say, off our self, connecting to a higher path here. I feel like we're getting used to that energy and we're adjusting to this energy. And with the adjustment comes more incoming information. I feel like we're stepping back from crowds of people. I don't know that we had crowds of people around us, but if we did, we're really isolating the self in a way where we disconnect from anything that really could hold us back. And this is intuitive, but it's also from a knowledge-based self. The High Priestess has a lot of keys here. She can open a lot of doors. But I feel at this point she's just absorbed in her own self, really. And I don't know, is this a selfishness? Could be. We'll continue. As we go into the future here, we have 12, the Hero card, fire. We have the bear. And whenever you have a bear, it's a symbol of strength and determination to go forward. Things are not getting in our way is the sense that I get, because the bear kind of, everything falls out of its way. You know, you move away, like don't go close to the bear. Or boars, because we got 2 boars on the side, and that's like kind of a tenacity as well. I feel like we don't show our teeth here. Aquarius is very solemn in their own self, but I feel we go forward like a bear, but anybody that crosses us, they're gonna get they're gonna get the teeth, is what I get. Now, as we go forward here into the Pulp Tarot, I like these cards because they get to the root quick. And it may be startling how they do so, but nonetheless, on top of that, we get the Temperance card. Part woman, part man, all angel. 1 foot in water, 1 foot on land. So there's a sense of being grounded and balanced. And this is part of the path of becoming the best of who you are, is to be grounded and not thrown off by simple things. I think the Aquarius is removing themselves quite highly from others around them in order to gain their own center. And I feel like now they're just having fun being in their own center and feeling that to the max, that it's where they're sitting. And they continue to sit here in the future. And I feel like they're very close to the energy of instinct. Okay, let's move forward here into the geometry cards and see if they get another level open. But for some reason, there's someone watching you go about this. Now, on top of the 2 of Swords, I feel like some person, like that could be on the good or the bad side, depending where you're at. Some person here doesn't want to see you grow. Okay? And it's because they can't handle that for whatever reason. Now, on top of that 2 of Swords, we get the complex pentagon. So the complex pentagon, that means like the pentagon is one of the safer shapes that you can have. It encompasses, right? That's where governments are held. It doesn't mean much at this point. But the sense they're giving me is safety. You know, this is a shape that creates safety for us, okay? Now, I get all these circles going in and out and in and out. These are the challenges and the people that come and go in our field that can pull us in or out of our balance that we are now feeling. I feel like we're not being pulled out of it now because we have eliminated any peanut gallery to affect us, right? We have removed everything. We have a clean slate, meaning we don't even have any testers. We're just eliminating our field to just resonate where we're at. It's a very unique feeling I have here from the Aquarius. But nonetheless, I feel in the past, there were people around us pulling us in and out. We may not have had the eyes to see completely where that's at. I feel now being alone, we're evolving, so we will see on the other side of this evolvement stage, whenever that decides to be for the Aquarian. When they open up their field, they will see more clearly who it is that's pushing and pulling on their energy. Now, on top of the High Priestess, we get into the present here of instinct and tying into that quite heavily and being that lone wolf in order to gain ultimate purity, is what they're telling me. We get the Egg of Life, 3D music acceleration. So you may have music speaking to you from the higher realms, giving you hints and whatnot. We may be accepting this quite highly and just perceiving. Again, we're not investing in anything outside of ourselves at this moment. I get that very strongly. We may find a lot of worth in music. Our 3D life is open to us. I feel like we are really just allowing it to multiply within the self. I feel like we are working within our higher self to evolve and mingle is really the sense I get. It's like this egg of life is forming. They're showing me two eggs of life that are forming together to make one. So when I get this, it means that universal energy is coming into you to amalgamate and become more strongly rooted in everything you say, think, do, and act upon. Okay? And I think to a certain degree, we're in understanding of this on a spiritual level. Now, as we move to the future, we have the Hero card. Now, the Hero is also about success and things that we can conquer and whatnot. I don't get that we are conquering anything other than creating peace for the self on the planet. Like, that's what I feel like our goal right now is. We're going inside. We're resonating at peace. We're not interacting with too many people that can pull us off our peace. And therefore, this is our goal. Now, as we move into that Temperance card, that is an Earth Angel. That's someone who has great knowledge of the spiritual side of things and also great knowledge of physical side. And they can translate what needs to come from spiritual down to earth, and from earth up to spiritual. There's a great, they're showing me that infinity symbol where the energy is going in and around these two layers, right? So it's a good flow here, the future coming in, because we're no longer removed from that which we evolve to. It's not a place, it's within us. That makes sense. Now, the last card that we have from Metatron's Complex Wheel, that signifies a lot of sticking points, a lot of, I get the hourglass more so here. Give me a minute. And there's somewhat the symbol of that on that Temperance card. It's time. Usually with this wheel, I get like prickly energy. So there may be some things here that this aloneness creates for us, a bliss that we may not want to come out of. And when we do come out of it, we may be quite prickly because we don't know how to deal with the difference of where we were compared to where we're going. And I feel like, how would we? It's like a possession from the right side where we're being possessed by universal flow, God source energy, and we're going forward. And because of that, there's a translation factor here that needs to happen that's going to create some bumps in the road for the Aquarian, because they went from a state of not knowing the self enough to make decisions, boundaries, whatnot, to going to completely alone and seeing the world with the right tint of glass, right? Not rose color, just seeing clear. And then now we got to be reintroduced to the energy of everything that created chaos in our past. So we have some sticking points here, going to be hard to get over. But won't get into that. That's the future. Just warning you. On the fortune card, what do we get to end this energy? Dragonfly. Have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. And I feel connection to spirit here is where we are at right now. And we're going to be moving into a future where we have to deal with not so positive energies outside of us with this perfect energy inside of us. And that is going to create some fluctuations here that the Aquarius is going to find hard to deal with. So spiritually, that's where you're at. Yeah, I can see it's tricky. We end on that card, but it's not like we haven't dealt with good and bad in the past. It's just now we have to recalibrate and deal with things differently, and we may be unsure of certain paths here. But we do have a grasp, like we're grounded and we're also highly connected. So this will help us because we will see the guidance from above. And again, if we have no resistance and we're healing, we will take that way forward, and that will help us evolve even further here. So the dragonfly is what you end on. I get a peaceful energy there. So Aquarius, that is your reading for January of 2026. Take care, have fun, and be kind.